people, Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and I am also the creator of this new show, The Rising Dead. Thanks so much to everyone who watched the first episode, and welcome to my first ever episode of The Rising Talking Dead Joe Winko. It's very good to have all of you here. So, in this episode, I'm going to be answering some questions you may have about The Rising Dead, and I will be showing you a sneak peek of the next episode of The Rising Dead after this. So, as you all know, the main character of the series, Joe, he's based off of me, and in the series, he's 19 years old, even though I'm really 20 years old in real life. But The Rising Dead takes place in October of 2015. So, in October of 2015, I was 19. So, yeah, that's why he's a year younger than I am in real life. Well, a couple months younger than I am in real life. Because it takes place earlier. And here's some of the questions you guys may have about The Rising Dead. I'm going to be answering them right now. Okay, question number 1. Why do all the voices in The Rising Dead sound similar? Very good question. The reason why they all sound similar is because I didn't feel like looking for voice actors. Because, well, from the first episode, there weren't many characters in the first episode. But in more of the episodes of Season 1 of The Rising Dead, there's going to be a lot of other characters and a lot of other people. And it's just kind of difficult and complicated to keep up with all those voice actors and making sure they all have their lines done in time. And a lot of times, sometimes they don't get their lines done in time, and it becomes kind of a hassle, especially when I'm ready to finish a video right away, but I can't get the lines in on time. So that's why I decided to do all the voices by myself. How I make them sound different is in Audacity. I use the pitch adjuster to make the voices sound deeper or more high-pitched. I'm trying to figure out more ways to make the voices sound different, but I haven't really just figured them out yet. But if you guys have any other suggestions, just type them in the comments, please. Any advice would be appreciated. Okay, so the next question. What game did you use to film the opening scene for this episode? Good question. That game was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And the reason why I used Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is because I have used Grand Theft Auto San Andreas to make quite a few of my past horror films for YouTube. But the reason why I use Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is because in The Rising Dead, Joe Winko, the character Joe Winko in The Rising Dead, he's supposed to be a machinima movie director for YouTube. And I didn't want to use The Sims 2 because The Sims 2, that's supposed to be their reality, like they are Sims. Well, The Sims 2 is supposed to be their reality, but Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is supposed to be like the fictional computer gaming world for them. I'm not sure if that made sense. So that's why I used Grand Theft Auto San Andreas instead. Otherwise, if I would have used The Sims 2 for Joe's machinima film, it would have just looked like he filmed it with real people, and that's not what I wanted it to seem like. He didn't film it with real people. He filmed it with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is fake. But in this world, for The Rising Dead, Sims 2 isn't fake. But in the real world, Sims 2 is fake. So, yeah, I hope that made sense. Okay, and now for the last question. Who was the man who stumbled on Joe Winko's front yard? Good question, but I'm not going to answer it. You have to keep watching to find that out. But I will say this. He is alive, and he's not dead. When you saw him passed out, he wasn't dead, and he was still alive. Just making sure that's clear. And, oh, we actually have another question. My bad. Okay, another question. Why is one of Joe Winko's YouTube followers, the one named Axel, wearing clown makeup on his face? Okay, another good question. So, I discovered this online recently. There's these people, mostly males, called juggalos. And juggalos are like these men who like clown music and this rock clown music, and they wear clown makeup. And I was really fascinated by juggalos, and I wanted to have a juggalo as a character in one of my Sims 2 horror films, so I decided to put a juggalo in my Sims 2 horror films. So Axel is a juggalo. That's why he's wearing clown makeup. So, yeah. I should have chose a better type of clown makeup because he doesn't have the nose at all. It's just his face is painted white and he has the black streaks on his eyes. But in the later episodes, I'll add the clown nose later on. So yeah. Now, it's time to show you guys the sneak peek of the next episode of The Rising Dead. Here it is. Check it out. Suspicious, isn't it? So, yeah, that's basically it. So please make sure to comment. Who do you think fired that arrow at that zombie? Do you think it's someone nice, or do you think it's someone evil who's waiting to take over Joe Winko's house? And besides that, how long do you think Joe Winko will be safe at his house by himself, or with whoever stumbled onto his front yard? Do you think they'll be safe for a while, or do you think something bad will happen and they'll have to leave? And where do you think they'll go next? Please type that in the comments. I would love to hear your speculation. Please do. And if you have any other questions that you want me to answer on the next episode of The Rising and Talking Dead Joe Winko, please tweet them to me at Joe Winko OFCL on Twitter. OFCL is an acronym for official, just in case you're all wondering. And yeah, that is basically it. So, peace out, people. And one more thing. Let's take some time to say goodbye to all the people who died in this most recent episode of The Rising Dead. Brought to you by Carmex.
Bring your lips to life with the soothing moisture of Carmex Lip Balm.
So you don't end up looking like a zombie from The Rising Dead.